My loving audience take my love and subscribes my channel. And dive B&B stories. Do you ever wonder if the writers are just messing with us at this point? I mean really. Think about what just happened in that Forrester showroom. Was it actually a mistake to put Dylan and Electra in the same room? Or was it a total setup? To me it feels like Steffy Forrester didn't just fill a job opening. She basically lit a fuse on a giant pile of dynamite and walked away smiling. Can we just talk about the physical layout of that office for a second? It's officially the most dangerous place to work in Los Angeles. You've got the princess and the outsider stuck together, and honestly, the walls are starting to close in. Why did Steffy do it? She hired Melissa Dylan and gave her what she called a ranch and a fresh start. Remember where Dylan was not long ago? She was living in her car, you guys. She was homeless and struggling for her next meal. Then suddenly, she's in the middle of the most elite fashion house in the world. But the help didn't stop at the front desk. Dylan went from being a receptionist to an assistant for Daphne in the perfumery department. On the surface, you think it's just Steffy being nice. But is it? It feels like Steffy has this savior complex, where she wants to redeem everyone. Or maybe she's just trying to distract herself from the chaos in her own family. By putting Dylan right in Electra's face, Steffy basically turned a business office into a psychological cage. It wasn't just a hire. It was a total provocation. When Electra finally snapped, she didn't hold back. Did you hear her? She was screaming that this is her world, and Dylan doesn't belong in it. That wasn't just about fashion or fabric. That was Electra marking her territory like a wounded animal. She feels like her whole legacy is under attack. To her, Dylan isn't a coworker. She's a virus that broke through the Forrester firewall. I can't help but feel for Electra, even when she's being a total mean girl. Internally, she is spiraling. She went from being the pampered, secure niece to a woman who feels like her whole mansion life is being mocked. Every time she looks at Dylan, she remembers that Will Spencer, the guy she loves, kissed this outsider. It's a constant physical sting. She tries to keep her professional mask on, but it's slipping. It's actually exhausting to watch her try to hold it together. Think about it this way. This isn't just a job placement. It's a class war. Dylan is the no-money hustle and Electra is the old guard entitlement. The showroom has become a courtroom where the verdict is always the same. You don't belong here. Who do you think has the moral high ground? Is it the girl who survived the streets or the girl who owns the streets? In my opinion, Electra is acting like a spoiled brat, but I get it. Imagine your safe space being handed to the person who helped blow up your relationship. I totally disagree with Steffy's management style here. You don't put two cats in a bag and act surprised when they start hissing. Steffy is failing as a boss by letting these personal fights run the office. It's a classic case of imposter syndrome, meeting inherited insecurity. Dylan is trying way too hard to prove she's more than her past. Meanwhile, Electra's whole identity is threatened. Her sense of self is so tied to her last name that she has no other defense. She uses her status like a weapon because she's scared. And then things got even worse. Remember when that order of emeralds arrived? The irony was so thick you could choke on it. Dylan was the one to tell Electra the news. She was trying to be supportive, saying these emeralds were meant to steal the show. But isn't that exactly what Dylan is accused of doing? Stealing Electra's show? Why would Dylan try to comfort Electra while she's hiding that secret kiss with Will? It feels like a masterclass in manipulation, even if Dylan doesn't realize she's doing it. By playing the support system, Dylan is actually gaining more control. She looks like the reasonable one, while Electra looks like a villain. It's a brilliant move to isolate Electra even more. Dylan is walking a total tightrope. She's grateful for the job, sure, but there's a dark thrill in being in the room she was never supposed to enter. She's falling for Will, and that feeling is like a drug. It makes her risk everything. On the other side of the room you have RJ Forrester. He's hovering like a vulture. He uses his golden boy status to try and save Electra, but we all know his motives are selfish. The showroom isn't for clothes anymore. It's for secrets. How long can Dylan hold on to that memory of kissing Will before it burns a hole in her uniform? Physical proximity is a catalyst. You can't hide a spark when you're standing right next to the person you want to burn the world down with. I think RJ is being the ultimate mama's boy, and a total snake. He's using his position to harass Will, and then acting like a victim when a punch finally lands. It's honestly pathetic. He needs his parents and his sister to fight his battles for him. He doesn't want Electra's heart. He just wants to win against Will. He's playing corporate chess with people's lives, and it's gross. RJ is driven by this deep fear of being lesser than a Spencer. He uses his father's power as a substitute for his own lack of strength. By getting Will fired, he thinks he won. But really, he just showed everyone how weak he is. He can't win on a fair field, so he tilts the board. We are looking at a total collapse of Forrester morale. I predict that Electra is going to realize that her Forrester crown is actually a cage. She's going to see RJ's smug smile and realize she's being treated like an object. My big prediction? Electra and Dylan might actually team up. They might realize the Forresters have been using them both as pawns. Or, more likely, Hope Logan is going to snatch them both for her secret company. That would leave the showroom empty and the Forresters wondering what happened. But wait, there's an even bigger shadow over the showroom. Someone is literally hiding behind the clothing racks. This isn't just a work drama anymore. It's a horror movie. Who is it? Is it Remy Price? Or is it a ghost like Luna Nozawa? The timing is too perfect. Just when Dylan finally feels safe, her past steps out from behind a mannequin. It's a narrative reset. The show is telling us that you can't buy your way out of your sins with a Forrester paycheck.
Can you imagine the terror Dylan is feeling? That scream she let out is the sound of her new life shattering. She thought she'd paid for what happened to Luna. But if that body never went into the ground, her whole redemption story is a lie. Her fear isn't just about a stranger. It's about the fact that her fresh start was built on sand. The showroom used to be about luxury. Now it's a graveyard. The clothing racks aren't for the company line anymore. They are curtains for a thriller. Dylan isn't just an assistant. She's a target. This shifts the whole story. It's not about who gets the guy anymore. It's about who survives the week. Honestly, I really hope it's Luna. The drama of a dead woman coming back to reclaim the life Dylan stole is exactly what we need. If it's just Remy asking for a favor, it's a letdown. We need the ghost to force the Forresters to see that their redemption project is actually a liability. I agree with the fans who think this is going to crack the storyline wide open. Dylan is suffering from survivor's guilt, and it's turned into real paranoia. And the scary part? She's right to be paranoid. She flinches before she even looks because she knows good things don't happen to people like her without a catch. The stalker is basically her own conscience coming to life. Whoever steps out, Dylan loses everything. If it's Remy, her family's secrets become gossip. If it's Luna, she's staring at the ghost of the woman she killed. Either way, the showroom isn't safe. The job isn't safe. The next time she turns around, she's going to flinch. This is the moment Dylan becomes the whole storyline. While this is happening, the foundations of Forrester Creations are rotting. Hope Logan hasn't just left. She's building a shadow cabinet at Logan Designs. She's playing the long game. She's watching the Forresters kick out talent like Will, and she's standing there with a net. Hiring Deke was the first move. If she gets Electra and Dylan next, she doesn't just have a team. She has the heart and future of her rivals. Hope feels betrayed by Brooke. Brooke chose Ridge's ego over her own daughter's career. That fire inside Hope isn't just ambition. It's revenge. She wants to show Steffy that the Forrester name is just a label, and labels can be replaced. We are watching a changing of the guard, and the older generation is too arrogant to see it. The showroom is the Titanic, and Ridge is the captain saying the iceberg is just a minor problem. The higher ground they talk about is actually a cliff, and they are about to walk off it. Good for Hope. For years she was the moral compass. And where did it get her? Sidelined. I love this dark Hope who is building an empire in the shadows. The Forresters are acting like a family club instead of a billion-dollar business. They deserve the corporate meltdown that's coming. They are blinded by their own greatness. This psychological blind spot is exactly what Bill and Hope are using. While Ridge plays checkers with his son's bruised ego, the sharks are circling the showroom. The next few weeks are going to be a bloodbath for Forrester morale. Once Dylan's secret or stalker situation hits the fan, the showroom will probably be shut down for a security review. That gives Hope the perfect window to launch her line and steal the spotlight. Electra will walk away, Dylan will be exposed, and RJ will be left in an empty room. He'll realize his win over Will was actually his biggest loss. Do you think Steffi was oblivious or calculating when she assigned Dylan to work with Electra? Was she trying to force them to get along, or did she secretly want to watch them fight? And who would you choose to join Hope's secret line first? Should it be Electra to get revenge, or Dylan to escape her ghosts?
Think about what just happened to Will Spencer. Firing him wasn't just a business move. It was a calculated execution of a rival. Ridge and Steffi are using a bar fight as an excuse. But let's be real. Was this about safety? No way. It was a strategic opening. Ridge saw a chance to protect his son and he took it. He didn't just fire an employee. He tried to cut a Spencer out of the Forrester world for good. Why? Because the Forresters are terrified. They are scared of the Spencer influence growing inside their walls. They thought they were cleaning house, but they were just setting the stage for everyone to leave. Don't you think that's a dangerous game to play? And look at RJ. Why did he push for this? He's incredibly insecure. He didn't want Will gone because of a punch. He wanted Will gone because Will represents everything RJ isn't. Will is raw and unapologetic. And most importantly, Will actually has the girl. RJ used his father's power as a weapon because he knew he couldn't win on a level playing field. It's a weak move. If you have to get your competition fired just to get a date, you've already lost. RJ is basically telling Electra that his love comes with a side of corporate control. How is she supposed to respect that? Electra has to be feeling so many things right now. It's a mix of betrayal and this weird dark sense of being wanted. Remember that moment she smiled when she heard the guys fought over her? There is a part of her that probably loved being the prize. It's a huge ego boost. But that smile disappeared fast when she realized it cost Will his career. She has to be feeling massive guilt. Her being there is what triggered the whole thing. She knows Will is being punished because of her choices. That kind of pressure can do two things. It can break a couple apart, or it can turn them into a team against the rest of the world. Which way do you think she'll go? This higher ground the Forresters keep talking about is totally hollow. They preach about family and love, but then they tear down a young man's career because his blood finally boiled over after months of verbal abuse. It is the ultimate hypocrisy. RJ called Will a lowlife and a sleaze right in the office. The Forresters ignored that verbal violence. They only cared when Will finally snapped. Ridge isn't being a leader here. He's being an enabler. And then there's Brooke. She is so worried about her relationship with Ridge that she is letting her own daughter walk away. She's letting her grandson act like a brat. She's caught between her husband and her family, and she is choosing Ridge every single time. It's sad to watch. Hope is right to be angry. She feels like her mom didn't fight for her. She feels like Brooke chose Ridge's son over her own career. That is the kind of betrayal that doesn't just go away. It fuels a fire. And Hope's fire is burning bright at Logan Designs. The funny thing is, while the Forresters are busy kicking people out, the Spencers and Logans are opening their doors wide. Look at Dollar Bill Spencer. He is a master at turning a disaster into a deal. The second he heard Will was fired, he was ready. He didn't just offer his son a hug. He offered him a kingdom. He wants all his sons working together at Spencer Publications. He's telling Will to ditch the Forresters completely. And honestly, it's a great pitch. Why stay where you are hated when you can go where you are the heir to an empire? Bill is even trying to get Wyatt back. He is building a powerhouse. He's even talking about getting that hope for the future diamond. He is playing chess while Ridge is playing checkers. Don't forget about Hope Logan. She is the real wild card. She didn't just take time off. She quit for good. She is starting Logan Designs and doing it under the radar. She is building a team of people that Forrester didn't appreciate. She already hired Deke. Poor Deke was working at a restaurant after Forrester let him go. But his heart was in fashion. Hope saw that. She made his dreams come true. Think about the message that sends. If you are talented and the Forresters don't want you, come to the Logans. It is a brilliant move. If Hope can snag Electra and Dylan, Logan Designs is going to be unstoppable. Steffi is so worried about Will being a bad influence, but she should be worried about her entire staff jumping ship. Carter is the only one even trying to be fair. He pointed out that RJ was the one who started the trouble. He reminded everyone that RJ has been harassing Will for months. But Ridge and Brooke just brushed it off. They said it was just like the bickering between Ridge and Bill. But is it? Firing someone isn't bickering. It is life-altering. Ridge thinks he has to stand behind his son, but at what cost? He just handed his biggest rivals a motivated, angry Will Spencer. And he might have just lost the respect of his niece Electra and one of his rising stars, Dylan. Ridge is basically teaching RJ that it's okay to bully people as long as you have the right last name. That is a dangerous lesson. It makes RJ think he is untouchable. You could see it in that smirk he had in the showroom. He thinks he won. He thinks Will is gone and Electra is his. But he is totally misreading the room. What do you think Will's first move will be at Spencer? Do you think he will try to take down Forrester from the outside? Or will he just focus on building his own thing? And what about Electra? Do you think she is going to move into that beach house and stay loyal? Or is the pressure from the Forresters going to be too much? There are so many moving parts here. It is like a high-stakes game of poker and everyone is bluffing. The way Dylan is being used as a support system for Electra is really interesting too. She is the one who sees the truth. She isn't blinded by the family name. She knows what it is like to have nothing, so she values real relationships. Her friendship with Electra is one of the few pure things in that building right now. If Dylan tells Electra that she needs to get out for her own sanity, I think Electra will listen. Dylan is the voice of reason in a room full of egos. And let's not overlook Deke. This is his big moment. He has been through the ringer. Working at a restaurant was okay, but he is a fashion guy. You could hear the excitement in his voice when Hope offered him the job. He is ready to show the world what he can do. It is always great to see an underdog get a chance. And if he helps Hope beat the Forresters, that is just icing on the cake. The tension between Katie and Brooke is also going to be a huge factor. They are sisters, but they are on opposite sides of a very ugly fence. Katie is protecting her son's future. Brooke is protecting her husband's ego. It is a classic soap opera setup, but it feels so personal this time. When Katie told Brooke that she was defending a bully, she hit the nail on the head. RJ is a bully. He used his position and his name to get a rival fired. There is no other way to spin it. So what is the end game here? Does Forrester Creations survive this exodus? Or do they become a boutique brand while Logan Designs and Spencer Publications take over the world? Honestly, it feels like a shift is happening. The younger generation is tired of the old rules. They are tired of the same old feuds. They want to do their own thing. And if that means leaving the family business, then so be it. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the company-wide memo goes over. Can you imagine the gossip in the break room? Did you hear the boss's son got his cousin fired over a girl? That is not the kind of news that builds morale. It is the kind of news that makes people start updating their resumes. Dylan isn't the only one who is going to be looking at the door. Every person in that building who isn't a Forrester is probably wondering if they are safe. It is a mess, but man, it is entertaining. I want to hear your theories. Who is the first person to officially join Hope's secret line? Is it going to be Electra? Or will Dylan make the jump first? And do you think Bill Spencer is actually going to get that Hope for the Future diamond? If he does, it is going to be a total power move. Is a family name really worth more than the person you love? Or is Electra Forrester about to realize that the crown she's wearing is actually a cage? Seriously, think about it for a second. We have to wonder if she is truly a Forrester at heart. Or is she ready to burn down the whole family legacy just to build a future with the man her relatives treated like trash? The drama at Forrester is just getting started, and you do not want to miss the moment that clothing rack reveals its secrets. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the messiest showroom in daytime TV, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, it really helps the channel grow. And if you haven't already, subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss a B&B spoiler or a shocking theory breakdown. I read every single comment, so let me know your takes below. Is it Remy, Luna, or someone else entirely? Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one where we find out if Electra and Dylan finally burn the building down. Bye for now.